You're watching Alaska's news source.
Well, this weekend brought blue skies and sunshine, but the rain has now returned for the start of this week. Let's head over to Aaron Morrison for a look at what we can expect over the next couple of days.
And rain, that is what we continue to track across South Central. Of course, we saw it this morning. We're seeing a break in the activity this afternoon. Temperatures managing to warm back into the mid-50s. Winds remaining on the calmer side. Now, for many areas, not only are we sitting under some drier conditions, but we could see some peaks of sunshine later today. Different story out towards Prince William Sound, where we're seeing some of that heavier rain. And then, of course, across portions of the Kenai and out towards the inlet, we're holding on to more rain showers that are eventually going to build back into the Anchorage Bowl as well as the valley later this evening. Many areas seeing anywhere from about 500 of an inch of rain to just shy of 1/4 of an inch, with the exception of Seward and Cordova approaching 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. It's these areas, those two areas, where we easily could see 1 to 2 inches of rain into tomorrow. So the heaviest rain expected to remain confined to coastal regions of South Central, while inland areas hold on to that scattered to periodic rain showers. Temperatures today staying back in the mid-50s. We'll keep that rain with us on into the evening hours, and again, some dry time this afternoon before that rain is set to make a return. I'll have more on that as well as that 7-day forecast and what to expect in the days ahead coming up.
Thank you so much. Well, a massive rail strike on Friday could bring 40% of the freight in the U.S. to a grinding halt, resulting in another blow to the U.S. economy. The 7 unions representing more than 90,000 workers at the nation's freight railroads. They want salary increases and back pay for hours worked since 2020. A prolonged strike could lead to empty shelves in stores, temporary closures at factories that don't have the parts they need, and higher prices because of limited consumer goods. Railroad workers are under a different labor law than the one that controls labor relations at most businesses. That means it's possible Congress could act to quickly stop that strike, but that would require level bipartisanship that is rare in Washington just weeks ahead of midterm elections. Meanwhile, UPS is gearing up for the holiday season by hiring more than 100,000 seasonal workers. About 80% of the positions that need to be filled do not require an interview. The company is also rolling out a new streamlined online application system to make the hiring process even easier. UPS says the application process only takes about 25 minutes to finish, and new hires have a good chance of making it a career. Last year, nearly 35,000 seasonal employees landed permanent positions after the holidays. In Anchorage, a man is in custody this morning in connection with an ongoing homicide investigation. 23-year-old Anthony Socaris has been arrested following police responding to what was a disturbance call around 8 o'clock Sunday morning. APD was contacted by Socaris, who they say was suggesting he was going to kill himself. After a SWAT response and takedown by a canine unit, he was eventually taken into custody, but as that part, officers found a woman's body near the 8100 block of Raspberry Street. He is facing charges of first-degree murder and 2 counts of second-degree murder. And on Sunday, the Kenai Peninsula Borough Assembly held a special meeting, members voting unanimously against releasing internal HR reports on harassment allegations made against Mayor Charlie Pierce. However, the Assembly also voted in favor of disclosing items reviewed in an executive meeting held August 23rd. The borough clerk confirming paper copies of the formal statements from the Assembly about that meeting were shared with attendees. That document says, in part, because there was no external complaint filed in an administrative form or in court regarding those allegations, it was instead considered internal and was investigated as such.
They're updated boosters designed to target both the original strain of coronavirus and Omicron subvariants BA4 and BA5. Dr. Lena Nguyen says reformulated vaccines like these could one day become routine.
It's something that's done for the flu vaccine every year, that to predict the new emerging variants, new emerging strains, that there is an updated booster.
The CDC recommends that everyone 12 and older get the updated booster as long as they've already had their primary series of shots, but they should wait at least 2 months since their last vaccine dose. People 18 and over can get either the updated Pfizer or Moderna shot, while those 12 and up are eligible for an updated Pfizer shot. Nguyen says certain groups should go get the booster right away.
It is individuals who are 50 and older with chronic medical illnesses, individuals who have not yet gotten any vaccine this year. They should absolutely go ahead and get that reformulated booster as soon as possible.
Wynn says if you've just recovered from COVID, you can probably wait about 3 months before getting the updated booster because the risk of reinfection in that time period is very low. As for children under 12 who are not eligible for the latest shot,
I'm sure that this reformulated booster is also going to be made available for younger children, but at this point, I would not worry about kids under the age of 12.
on the other hand, Wynn urges parents with kids under 12 who haven't been vaccinated to go get those shots, even if your children have been recently infected with the coronavirus. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And since flu season is expected to be harsh, officials recommend being up to date on both flu and COVID-19 vaccinations, especially important as we head into fall and winter. Well, in important consumer news today, Ford announced a recall of two of its most popular SUVs. The automaker recalled 200,000 Ford Expeditions and Lincoln Navigators after learning their heating and cooling fan motors can catch fire. The specific models being recalled were built between 2015 and 17. So far, the company has received reports of 25 fires. 12 of those caused extensive damage to the vehicles. Ford will begin reaching out to owners today. It's asking customers to bring those vehicles back for free repairs. Still ahead, trick-or-treating in the heat, why families gathered every year to participate in this fun tradition, and how it all started. Plus, no food waste from the Alaska State Fair, how the giant vegetables got a good cause after the festivities.
Alaska's news source at noon is brought to you in part by Alcan Family Dental. At Alcan Family Dental, we hear you.
Hi, Dr. Brett Lopez here at Alcan Family Dental. As an Alaskan-owned business, our name came from the trip up the Alcan to make a permanent home like many of you Alaskans. We want to thank you for making us Alaskans' choice for sedation, extractions, dentures, implants, Invisalign, and general dentistry. Our growth and success comes from you, our patients. If you're having tooth pain, our doors are open. We accept new patients, walk-ins, and emergencies. We're here for you, Alaska. At Alcan Family Dental, we hear you.
Start by heading north at schedule flexibility. Merge onto the full and part-time options highway. Take the exit at competitive pay and employee benefits. Head west towards financial incentives for the first semester of the school year. Your destination is in 3/4 of a mile. There's never been a better time to join the Anchorage School District. As a bus driver, you'll be part of a team inspiring and helping students start the day in the right direction.
Hi, I'm Flower. Who's this bohemian?
A good idea is a good idea.
Huzzah!
Well, all right.
Show's so fun.
We're gonna crush this.
I'd watch that.
Come on in and spend your Thursdays with TV's Best. The new season begins September 29th on CBS.
Well, for 17 years, a trick-or-treat fundraiser in Anchorage has drawn crowds of people across several different neighborhoods, and the tradition continues. As Lex Yelverton reports, it all started back in 2005 as a last wish of Ian Robbins, who was a terminally ill child, and now it's still giving back well after his passing.
Please, everybody clap your hands.
This is Trick or Treat in the heat, but it hasn't always been this cheerful. Back in September of 2005, Ian Robbins was terminally sick with leukemia, and one of his final wishes was to celebrate Halloween.
The medical team alerted us that he probably would not make it to October 31st. My husband and some wonderful neighbors ran around the neighborhood on a Wednesday. By that Sunday, we were hoping to have a dozen houses so he could trick or treat one last time.
To their amazement, many houses participated, and about 100 kids showed up for the block party. 17 years later, it is still going.
And it has grown now to 8 neighborhoods in Eagle River, Wasilla, and here at Anchorage. So it's getting bigger and bigger. Thank you very much.
They raise money for Hospice Anchorage, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and Anchorage Ronald McDonald Houses. 100% of all proceeds go directly to charity.
To sort of honor Ian and raise some funds for the organizations that helped our family during an extraordinary time.
People can purchase wristbands through their neighborhood of choice, and this year, every single neighborhood sold out. They estimated that this event has raised over $500,000 over the years.
Certainly this day is rooted in sorrow, and it's not an easy day. I am absolutely gobsmacked, though. The memories of this event with Ian and through the years, it's wind beneath our wings is so uplifting.
Ian's mom says there's just something about this event that really resonates with people, and that it's a good event for Alaskans to help Alaskans.
It was a joyful experience and a wonderful memory for our family.
Ian's starting something that keeps on giving. Lex Yelverton, Alaska's news source.
And if you're a fan of the state fair, you probably know the giant vegetables are a main attraction. Well, feast your eyes on this. All those impressive cabbages, giant pumpkins, colossal squash, they landed in the paws of some residents at the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. And lots of visitors were there to check out the yearly feast as well.
What is going on behind you?
Yeah, so we have the Big Bears Big Veggies event, which is a very popular event every year. You can see we have a lot of locals that like to come out and see this, and tourists alike. These are veggies donated from Harvest Fest and the Alaska State Fair, and the growers generously send them our way, and we get to do fun enrichment with our bears.
And the AWCC says when the bears aren't eating giant vegetables, they especially like donated salmon and game meats, carrots, grapes, oranges, and some kibble to help balance out their diets. The full story is coming later this week on Dave Allgood's feature series, The Allgood News. Coming up, according to the DOJ, it's a matter of national security, but Trump's attorneys say no further access is needed to the classified documents found at his home. Those details up next.
Parts of South Central seeing a break in the activity this afternoon. More rain overnight to Tuesday. I'll have those details. But first, sunset this evening, 8:30, 13 hours.
Look at this all-star team.
We are happy to help.
Let's go!
This is very dangerous. Poison, biotoxins.
Very bad guys.
You have to act fast.
Shut it down. Drop it now.
You really don't want me to do that.
The battle's just started, but we've already won. 'Cause we're about to get it done.
Those problem areas we see in the mirror can't be wished or squished away, no matter how hard we try. At Solara, we say it's time to eliminate those problem areas with Cool Sculpting, the patented technology available at Solara Skin and Laser that actually targets and kills fat cells with no surgery and little to no downtime.
If you want real results, you'll love Cool Sculpting at Solara.
See our before and afters at solaralaser.com and fear no mirror.
Nearly 4,000 miles away, 6 Supreme Court justices took away one of Alaska's most fundamental freedoms, our right to choose. And frankly, that's a game changer. I'm Mary Peltola, mom of 7, grandmother of 2, and a committed advocate for personal privacy rights. The federal government has no business taking away our freedoms. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message because we should have the right to make choices that work for ourselves and our families.
Monday, September 12th is the first bus cohort shift in the Anchorage School District. Drivers should expect heavier than normal traffic around Begich and Wendler Middle Schools and Bartlett and East High Schools. Please avoid any unnecessary travel near these areas during drop-off and pickup times. If you must go through these neighborhoods, remember, drive slowly and be alert for students crossing the streets. Thanks for doing your part to help our students get to and from school safely.
You're watching Alaska's Weather Source.
Listeners certainly saw our fair share of rain for August. Now September, we're already approaching 2 1/4 of an inch of rainfall since the start of September, which is well above where we should be for the month as a whole. September usually brings and just a little over 3 inches of rainfall. And I'll go ahead and tell you, by the end of the week, we're likely already going to see the average precip for the month sitting over 3 inches. This is the third consecutive month where we're seeing a precipitation trend remaining above normal, and the trend ahead continues to bring more rain across South Central as we head through the next several days. What we have going on across the region is a ridge of high pressure in the Pacific Northwest, and then we've got an area of low pressure out towards the Bering Sea. This is this trough ridge pattern, and that continues to keep that onshore flow right here in South Central as well as Southwest Alaska. And so that means more rain can be expected here over the next several days, even with some dry time that we're seeing this afternoon. We got some heavier rain out towards Valdez as well as Cordova, some break in the activity across the Kenai as well as here in Anchorage, but you can see more rain on the backside of that. That's set to arrive this evening, overnight on into your Tuesday. So you can expect to see this rain stay with us, gradually tapering off through the day, really into the evening hours Tuesday, but with just some AM showers Wednesday. 1 to 2 inches of rain near the coast can be expected. And of course, we'll hold on to some breezy conditions in higher elevations across portions of South Central. So dry time this afternoon. Activity creeps right back in overnight on into your Tuesday. This is where we're going to see another band of some heavier rain building into South Central. Then all of that exits towards the Panhandle as that ridge backs off somewhat, opening the door for more rain to return to southeast. And as it does, we are going to see a trend towards drier weather for both Wednesday as well as Thursday across South Central. May even see some peaks of sunshine. Enjoy it because more rain is expected by Friday as well as Saturday as we continue to remain fixated when it comes to this widespread rain that we continue to see across the region. So that rainfall total forecast, the closer you live to the coast, the better your chance of seeing over 2 inches of rainfall. Meanwhile, for inland regions of South Central, we'll likely see 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain as Wednesday approaches with some localized heavier amounts. And then the rest of Wednesday and Thursday again will be on the drier side. 59 in Juneau. We got some sunshine for Ketchikan at 65 degrees, 56 in McGrath. Cooler back off towards the west with temperatures in the 50s and some showers and breezy conditions remaining. And then along the Aleutians, we've got those temperatures in the low to mid 50s as well. Sunnier skies to the south for southeast. You can see those temperatures warming into the 50s and the 60s, 55 in Haines, 59 in Sitka, and 65 degrees in Ketchikan. Heavy rain near Seward. The rest of Kenai as well as Kodiak will see somewhat drier conditions through the day. Those temperatures still managing to warm back into the 50s into the afternoon hours. 1 to 2 inches of rain across Prince William Sound, drier through the Copper River Basin. You can see those temperatures struggling to break out of the 40s for Valdez, 51 in Whittier, and 55 in Gulkana. Rain showers across the valley today. Temperatures once again warming back into the mid 50s. We're seeing some dry time this afternoon, and then more rain is expected into our Tuesday. 55 in Anchorage, 52 degrees in Girdwood, and Rebecca, more rain. That is the trend that we've been talking about. We've been talking about it really for almost 2 months now, really 2 months to the date. July 12th was when the rainy season started.
My goodness, I'm ready to move on at this point.
We'll take any sunshine we can get.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. Well, former President Donald Trump's legal team has submitted its response to the Justice Department's attempt to halt a federal judge's order. His attorneys state they want the federal judge to continue to hold off the Justice Department from resuming its review of the records seized last month from Trump's Florida residence. Skylar Henry has details.
Former President Donald Trump arrived in the Washington area Sunday evening, ostensibly to play golf. Meanwhile, his lawyers hammered out a response to the Department of Justice's request that the judge stay the part of her ruling preventing the government from reviewing documents taken during the search. Trump's team filed the response this morning, saying in what at its core is a document storage dispute that spiraled out of control. The government wrongfully seeks to criminalize the possession by the 45th president of his own presidential and personal records. In a court filing last week, the DOJ asked Judge Eileen Cannon, a Trump appointee, to restore their access to classified material seized in the search at Trump's Mar-a-Lago home last month. They argue that denying access to the material could stop them from finding any additional classified material being improperly stored, which they argue could put national security at risk.
If some of these documents involve human intelligence and that information got out, people will die. If there were penetration of
We
our
don't know that
signals intelligence. Literally years of work could be destroyed.
The Trump team responded to that request, saying there is no indication any classified records were disclosed to anyone, reiterating they were stored in a locked room at Mar-a-Lago. The DOJ argues that even if the judge proceeds with the appointment of a special master, that he or she should have a more narrow scope of work than what the judge had initially ordered. In the court filing, the DOJ said the special master should not review documents with classification markings and should not adjudicate claims of executive privilege.
There's only one executive who can assert the privilege, and that's the one who's the current executive, Joe Biden.
So far, neither the DOJ nor former President Trump's lawyers have agreed on who should be named the special master if the federal judge proceeds with appointing one, with both sides submitting a separate list of names they find acceptable to fill the role.
And the DOJ has asked the judge to make her decision by September 15th. Up next, Wake Up with the Early Crew will tag along with Northern Waste as they make their rounds before most are even out of bed.
When you get up on top, make sure that you don't hit that power line over there.
Overhead and underground power lines carry electricity to every home and business. Always be aware when working near them. Metal poles or ladders coming into accidental contact could result in serious injury or death. Be safe. Be aware of power lines. This important safety message is brought to you by Chugach Electric, powering Alaska's future.
I'm Jim from Chugach. I began to sweat and I had a terrible headache. Turns out I was having a heart attack. I called 911 and the ambulance took me to Alaska Regional Hospital. Fortunately, Alaska Regional has a wonderful cardiac rehab program. They taught me how to get my heart back into shape and how to stay healthy for many years to come. One of my biggest concerns was I would have to cancel my annual moose hunt. 4 months later, I'm healthier than ever. That's why I say, take me to Alaska Regional.
Hi, it's me again. Listen to this. Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check every month may now be available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple. 1, call the number on your screen. 2, they'll look up your zip code and see if you're eligible. 3, they'll check for plans with extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every single month. Call now.
I called to get everything I deserve.
I called to check my zip code for a plan with the benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I called to check my zip code.
Check your zip code. It could be dynamite. Call now.
Call 1-800-697-4600. That's 1-800-697-4600 now.
It is a messy job, but somebody's got to do it. And this week's The Early Crew, photojournalist Mike Niederbrock hitched a ride on a trash truck.
My name is Brad Cutway. I work for Northern Waste, and I have been on the Early Crew since we started this company 5.5 years ago. When I was in school, they said that Rome was the greatest civilization ever, and it failed because of politics and garbage. So I think that if you don't keep things clean and keep things that can contaminate your water supply and your food supply, if you don't keep that cleaned up, then you can't have much of a civilization. I consider my job more of a custodian. Forks all lined out so that every little minute helps, every second helps. Because you gotta do a lot of cans in a day. So if you're already in motion, when you grab it, flick it like that, a little ball bearing opens up the lock bar. Straighten her out as she comes up. Shouldn't spill any trash. And put her down. now she comes back down. Do the same thing as we did on the other one. Just gonna make sure she's all angled, straight. It's uniform with the other one. Make sure you see that pretty plug up on there. Well, trash is good. It's good in the way that it's a byproduct that we're going to have no matter what. But if you contain it and you take care of it, then we all go about living our lives. Any utility, we live our lives without really realizing the importance of it and how much different life would be if they weren't taken care of. So that's what we do. Come out early in the morning and get it all taken care of before anyone even realizes that it's something we need to think about.
And if you know someone who would make a great feature for the Early Crew, send us an email to news@ktuu.com and put the Early Crew in the subject line. Still ahead, how Disney plans on becoming even more magical for its 100th anniversary.
World-class mountain climber Chris Walden is accustomed to facing obstacles head-on. That's why when he was nearly sidelined with an ankle injury, he sought expert care. Fortunately, surgical podiatrist Danny Roman practices world-class medicine right here in Soldotna. Dr. Roman was able to repair Chris's damaged ligaments and get him back on the mountain. 2 months later, Chris and his daughter set a new world record by summiting Kilimanjaro. Central Peninsula Hospital, state-of-the-art technology, state-of-the-heart care.
If you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to tell you what your case is potentially worth. Hello, I'm Gina, along with spokesperson Rob. Rob, tell the folks at home who should be calling right now.
Well, just like you said, Gina, anyone who call right now, and we're going to let you know what your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Rob. So what kind of calls have we been seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls from all types of accidents today. Work accidents, slip and falls, truck accidents, and most commonly, car accidents. So if you were injured in an accident that was not your fault, you don't have an attorney, take that first step, pick up that phone and give us a call. We're going to answer your questions, and we'll let you know how much money you can get for your accident.
Thanks, Rob. All right, folks at home, you heard it. Go ahead. Don't hesitate. Take that first step and call now.
Well, if you love Disney, we have some news that's going to make you very excited.
Now, Disney turns 100 next year, and fans can expect new and exciting celebrations at all of the Disney parks. The festivities are dubbed D23 for the 100th anniversary. Mickey, Minnie, and their friends will sport new looks. A nighttime spectacular is being developed for Epcot, and a Moana-inspired experience at Epcot called Journey of Water is set to open late 2023.
Now in California, 2 new nighttime shows will debut: Wondrous Journeys at Disneyland Resort and World of Color 1 at Disney California Adventures Park. Also at California Adventure, a new multiverse central attraction that will allow guests to fight alongside of Avengers. Very cute. And I suppose you're going to talk about rain again.
More
again,
rain.
And again.
I mean, that's all we've got on the 7-day forecast. The good news is mid-50s. We got some dry time here and there. That's what we're seeing this afternoon. More rain into Tuesday. Trending drier for Wednesday outside of some morning showers. A better shot of seeing some sunshine arrives Thursday, but daily highs stay in the mid-50s. Watching this weekend as well, Friday and Saturday, for another round of rain. Those overnight lows, mid to upper 40s. That's that nice weather when you wake up in the morning and you get that cool, crisp air in the house.
Well, that will be nice. All right, that's all the time we have. Have a great afternoon.